Let's hear it for the very funny Kashyap Swaroop. Yes, louder.
के लिए जोरदार तालियां दोस्तों. Yes. He's funny and he's fit, dude. What a guy. You guys know why, right? It's the calisthenics. I can tell some of you guys are like, that joke is 5 blue stars. Look, I can do these jokes. I am Kashmiri Pandit, so it's fine. I'm actually half Kashmiri. I'm half Kashmiri, half Tamil. Yeah. I guess that's why I kind of look Bihari. I don't know. There's nothing in common, man, between Kashmir and Tamil Nadu. Nothing in common between those two sides that I come from. Sometimes I get this very deep existential crisis. I'm like, who the fuck am I? You know. So I went to Chennai, and they were like Hindi le. Then I went to Srinagar, and they were like Hindu le. I'm like, can one of y'all accept me, please? Worst investment advice I've received as a Kashmiri Pandit. I'll share this with y'all. My best friend came up to me. He said, Kashyap, you should invest in property. I explained to him, dude. I said, dude, my house was a stone's throw away from the river Jhelum. And now it is a stone in the river Jhelum. He's like, mutual funds are subject to market risk, please. What a fucker, dude. I think Kashmiri Pandits, we don't have a lot of friends. I think they're fake friends, you know. We all have that one friend who's like, hey, that guy is my best friend, but really they're kind of lying. You know, they're doing it for, you know, whatever advantage they get. We also have like that equivalent of a friend. You guys know what I'm talking about? Those old men who wear those shorts, those topis. जो आपके साथ non-veg bill split नहीं करेंगे. You guys know what I'm talking about? वो लोग बोलते हैं Kashmiri Pandits are our best friends. But no. Those guys are creeps, bro, if you ask me. Do you guys think those guys ever look at really fit cows and go, MILF? Mother I'd like to farm, just so we're all on the same page. The cow in that joke, not an Indian cow, Swiss cow, just for the record. Not our mom. Mom's distant cousin. They have accents. They're like, moo. Cheese is ready. I have a best friend, but nowadays he doesn't consider me his best friend. Yeah, because he got a dog. Yeah, he was always like, Kashyap, this dog is my best friend. Which is fine, but sometimes he says it while he's feeding the dog with his own hands. That's fucked up. If you're feeding your best friend with your own hands, you're also probably fucking them. Like, can we all, yeah, if the one guy gets it. You're also probably fucking them, dude. That's weird. Or your best friend doesn't have hands. In which case, that's probably why you're fucking them. Some of you all might be thinking this guy is right-wing Hindu comic. No, I'm actually very pro-Muslim. Very pro-Muslim myself, I gotta be honest. You guys remember the CAA-NRC protests? Yeah? I was living in a Muslim house with a Muslim landlord. And he was a nice guy. So I was like, I will go protest for his rights, you know. So I went to the anti-CAA protest at August Kranti Maidan. I held up signs, slogans, you know. And then I came back home, and then he saw those signs and slogans, and he was moved. He had a tear in his eye. Next morning, at my doorstep, he sends the most delicious mutton biryani I've ever had. So I was like, how far can I take this? So the next day, I went to the pro-CAA protest. And guys, now I own his house. Do you guys know about too much information, TMI? Yes. Sucks when someone drops too much information on you, right? Like just this morning, I was in the washroom. My dad calls me. He's like, how's the weather in Bengaluru? I was like, it's great. He's like, it should be. Because you were conceived there. I was like, dude, that's Fucking weird information, dude. You know, random hour. I'm on the commode. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this information? Dad, man, doesn't know when to drop too much information. On his 60th birthday, we're at the bar. We're doing a cheers. You know, we're having a beer. He gets emotional. He's like, Kashyap, you remember when you were 4 years old and I slapped your face and you flew across the room and hit the wall? I'm sorry about that. Like, great, now my dad feels better, I feel worse. What the fuck is this, dude? Also, I didn't really remember that shit. I was 4 years old. What the fuck? Have you guys ever felt a pain 28 years after something bad happened? I guess that's what it feels like to be Kashmiri Pandit. I don't know. My ex-girlfriend dropped too much information too many times. This first time she comes up to me, she's like, Kashyap, you know my best friend? I was like, yeah. She's like, I kissed him. Yeah. And she was feeling guilty, she was crying, so I was like, all right, let me forgive you, you know. She comes back to me a couple of months later, she says, Kashyap, you know my best friend who I kissed? She's like, I f***ed him. And she's crying again, she's in guilt, she's like, you know, I don't know why I do this, so I forgive her again. She comes back to me a month later, she's like, Kashyap, you remember that best friend I fucked? I was like, I know you're a woman, but learn to keep a secret, please. Like, what the fuck? For some reason, she pulls out her phone and she shows me the evidence. Yeah. Too much information, dude. This dick pic. Yeah, tiny dick. Big ass mole on it. What the fuck? Worst part about this dick pic, I can't even look at that photo with buri nazar. What the fuck? You know? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, shame on my main chick, side dick's main chick. You guys know what I mean. That bitch. That bitch who's not able to control her man. So I called her. And I was like, look, man, your man is cheating on you. She's like, how do you know? So I was like, does he have a mole on his dick? She's like, how do you know he has a mole on his dick? How the fuck do you know he has a mole? Are you fucking him? Now I have to convince her for 30 minutes straight that I'm not gay. And by the way, guys, I did the job. I succeeded at it. I convinced this woman that I am straight. In fact, I convinced her so good that now she and I are dating. So it's just... not true at all. I am now committed to the bachelor life. In fact, that's why I bought a sofa cum bed. Yeah, if you're going through your whole phase, best investment, sofa cum bed. Because if you want her to fuck, it's a bed. But if you want her to fuck off...
Street legend. Sipping on purple chamomile tea in the balcony, EOTD, I feel good. Do what I like, this real hood. Made the songs that I wanted to. Motherfucker say, bro, kaun hai tu? Tera naam kyun nahi hai? Tere gaane so iconic, dude. Are bhai sahab, ab kya bataएं? Kuch 150 se raabta hai. Koi Wolfie naam se janta hai, koi